A very warm welcome all of you to the online class of biology once again. So in the previous class we have studied about the endomembrane system of the cell. Okay, so today we are going to study about another organelle, that is the mitochondria. Okay, mitochondria we have to start. So mitochondria, already you know, it is known as the powerhouse of the cell, isn't it? And the number of mitochondria per cell, that depends upon the physiological activity of the cell. What kind of function they do, on that basis the number of mitochondria in a cell varies. Okay, and in that shape and size, if we consider, there also can see considerable variation. Okay, the different cells are having different shaped, okay, mitochondria. Their size also varies. Okay, and typical means a typical mitochondria is sausage shaped or cylindrical and having the diameter of 0.2 to 1, okay, 1.0 μm. That is the average diameter, and the length can be 1 to 4.1 μm. Okay, and when you see the structure of a mitochondria, you can see that they are double membraned organelles. Two membranes are there in them, the outer membrane and the inner membrane. Okay, and this divides, okay, the lumen. Lumen means what? The inside part, into two different compartments, that is the outer compartment and the inner compartment. Okay, and the inner compartment is known as the matrix. Okay, matrix, and the outer membrane that forms the the boundary of the organelle. Okay, the inner membrane, they shows a number of infoldings or folds, and that foldings are known as what? The cristae. Okay, cristae are what then? Cristae are the infoldings of the inner membrane of the mitochondria. Okay, and these are known as cristae. And cristae, the function of cristae is what? To increase the surface area. Okay, it increases the surface area. The cristae increases the surface area. Okay, and there are different enzymes in the matrix. If you see the matrix are having what? Various enzymes. Okay, they are having their own circular DNA molecule, then RNA molecules, ribosomes, etc. are also there in the matrix. Okay, so it's a very important feature of mitochondria that it is a kind of semi-autonomous organelle. Means it is having its own DNA. Okay, actually DNA will be where? Present in the nucleus. So in addition to the nuclear DNA, mitochondria is also having what? DNA, then what? RNA molecules and ribosomes. And ribosomes, you see, it is of 70S. 70S ribosomes are the characteristic feature of what? Prokaryotes, isn't it? So that prokaryotic ribosomes are present in the mitochondria. Okay, not the eukaryotic one. Is it clear? And what is the major function of mitochondria? They are the site of aerobic respiration, isn't it? And where what happened? The energy will be used to produce ATPs, isn't it? ATPs are known as what? The energy currencies. That is when there is need of energy, our body uses what? ATP. The ATP molecules will be hydrolyzed. Okay, ATP is what actually? Adenosine triphosphate, isn't it? 3 phosphate molecules are attached to the adenosine. Understood? Adenosine is also adenosine to adenosine, 3 phosphate molecules are attached. So each phosphate bond is having high energy, and whenever any of this phosphate groups are hydrolyzed, whenever one phosphate bond is removed or hydrolyzed, lot of energy will be released, and that can be used for various purposes. Okay, so in mitochondria what happens is, okay, the oxidation of food takes place, okay, and the energy released from the food, from the oxidation of food, is used to make the ATP molecules, and this ATP molecules are hydrolyzed, okay, or it will be it will be giving the energy for the instant purposes. Understood? So now I told you why the mitochondria is known as the powerhouse of the cell. Why? Because they produce what? ATPs. Okay, ATP production is taking place in the mitochondria, so only they are known as the energy powerhouse. And ATPs are known as what? Energy currency. Why ATPs are known as the energy currency? Because whenever energy is needed, okay, for each and every metabolic activities, energy is needed, isn't it? So or simply if a molecule needs to get inside, okay, we have studied about active transport, so in that also ATPs or energy is needed. So during that time, the ATP molecules which is already prepared in the mitochondria will be hydrolyzed, and they release the energy, and that energy can be used for what? The various energy purposes. And I told mitochondria is special. Why? Because they contain a circular DNA molecule, RNA molecules, ribosomes, and the components that is required for the synthesis of proteins. Okay, so we will study the synthesis of proteins in detail in the next year, and for the process of formation of proteins needs what? DNA, okay, then RNA molecule, ribosomes, etc. So all these are there. So mitochondria is an example for a semi-autonomous organelle. In addition to the nuclear DNA, they are having DNA in the matrix of the mitochondria. Okay. Next organelle that we have to study is plastids. Okay, so plastids are mainly found in plant cells and euglenoids. Okay, and the major function of plastids are they contains what? Colored pigments. And based on the type of pigments present in plastids, there are three types of plastids. What are they? Chloroplast, okay, chromoplast, and leucoplast. Okay, so depends upon the type of pigments present in them. Understood? And the chloroplast, they contain the pigment known as chlorophylls and carotenoids. Okay, chloroplast contains what? Chlorophyll and carotenoid pigments, and they are the major pigments which help in the trapping of light energy during the photosynthesis. Then chromoplast. Chromoplast contain fat soluble carotenoid pigments like what? Carotene, xanthophylls, etc. Okay, so their major function is what? They give color to the plant parts. You can see variegated leaves you have studied, isn't it? So this colors given are given by the what? Different pigments like what? The carotene, xanthophylls, etc. Okay, so they give what? Different colors. On the other hand, leucoplasts are colorless plastids. Okay, and their major function is they store various nutrients. Various nutrients are stored in where? Leucoplast. And the leucoplast are again of different types like amyloplast, okay, then elaioplast and alluroplast. So can be asked, what are leucoplast? Colorless plastids are known as what? Leucoplast. And there are different kinds of leucoplast like amyloplast, which stores the carbohydrate or starch. Okay, then elaioplast, they store oils and fats, and alluroplast stores proteins. Okay, so on the basis of the different types of nutrients they store, the leucoplast are of different types. So chloroplast are mainly found in the mesophyll cells. What are mesophyll cells? The cells of leaves, isn't it? Which are present in between the epidermal cells are called what? Mesophyll cells. So these mesophyll cells mainly contain what? Chloroplast. Okay, so and their shape also varies. We have studied when we studied the plant kingdom, isn't it? Some of them are oval, spherical, discoid, ribbon shaped. Likewise, the shape of the chloroplast varies in different organisms, isn't it? And the number also varies. For example, in Chlamydomonas, only one chloroplast will be there per cell. But in some green algae, it can be 20 to 40. Okay, and just like the mitochondria, chloroplasts are also double membrane structures. Okay, that is, they are having an outer membrane and an inner membrane. Okay, and among these two, the inner membrane will be less permeable. Okay, and the matrix of the chloroplast is known as stroma. So they are also double membraned structures. They are having an outer membrane and inner membrane, and the matrix of the chloroplast is known as what? Stroma. Okay, and in the stroma you can see a number of membranous structures which are arranged as what? As coins arranged one above the other. Okay, so this group of this membranous structures, each membranous structure is known as thylakoid. Okay, and this thylakoids, when they arrange, okay, thylakoids, and when this thylakoids are arranged one above the other, they form the granum. Okay, plural is grana, and this grana, adjacent grana, they are interconnected by stroma lamella. Okay, so this is the structure of a chloroplast. Chloroplast is double membraned structure having an outer and an inner membrane, and the matrix of chloroplast is known as stroma, and stroma contains what? Membranous structures. Each membranous structure is known as thylakoid, and the thylakoids are arranged one above the other and form a group. Okay, and each group is known as grana, and grana are connected to each other by stroma lamella. Is it clear? The thylakoids includes certain cavity, and that cavity is known as lumen. Okay, and the matrix of the matrix is known as the stroma, and they contain various enzymes needed for the synthesis of carbohydrates and proteins. Okay, then they also contain a double stranded circular DNA, then ribosomes, etc. Understood? So this chloroplast is also an example for what? Semi-autonomous organelle. Okay, in addition to the nuclear DNA, they are having DNA, okay, a single circular double stranded DNA, okay, then the circular DNA molecules and ribosomes. Okay, and the pigments. What are the pigments present in chloroplast? Chlorophyll pigments. Where you can find them? In the thylakoids. Okay, in the membranes of the thylakoids you can see the chlorophylls. Okay, and the ribosomes of the chloroplast are 70S. Okay, than the cytoplasmic ribosomes. So cytoplasmic ribosomes actually plant cells are eukaryotic cells, isn't it? And they contain what? 80S ribosomes in the cytoplasm. But in the matrix of the chloroplast, there are what? Ribosomes, which are smaller than the cytoplasmic ribosomes, and it is similar to the prokaryotic ribosomes which are present in the matrix. Okay, what is the matrix of chloroplast known as? Stroma. So stroma contain what? The DNA molecules and also the ribosomes. Understood? So the major parts of a chloroplast includes what? The membrane having outer and inner layer, the matrix, okay, and the membranous structures known as thylakoids arranged one above the other, and they forms the grana, and grana forms the site for light reaction, and stroma forms the site for the dark reaction. Okay, and I told in the matrix they have what various enzymes, DNA, RNA, ribosomes, etc. So I think it is also clear to you. Okay, the next organelle that we have to study is ribosomes. Ribosomes, the major function of ribosomes is protein synthesis. Okay, and it was first observed by George Palade, and they are made up of RNA and protein. So this is one example where RNA forms the structural component. Okay, so you have studied about DNA. Have you heard about DNA? Have you heard about RNA? DNA and RNA are genetic material, isn't it? They are heard as genetic material till now. So in addition to that purpose, RNA also act as the structural unit. Okay, so example is ribosomes. Ribosomes are made up of RNA and proteins. Okay, and they are not surrounded by any membrane. Understood? And you can see that the ribosomes are existing as two subunits. Okay, there will be a large subunit and a small subunit. There will be two parts. Okay, and just before the what is the function of ribosomes? They help in the protein synthesis, isn't it? So just before the process of protein synthesis starts, okay, that time what happened? Both the subunits, larger subunit and smaller subunit, they join and form a single unit. Otherwise they will be seen as separate units. Okay, and the eukaryotic ribosomes are 80S and the prokaryotic ribosomes are 70S. S is the unit of sedimentation. Okay, means it gives some idea about what the density and the size of the ribosomes. Okay, and it is S stands for sedimentation coefficient, and it gives some idea about the density and size of the ribosomes. Okay, and I told the major function of ribosome is what? They help in the protein synthesis. In the process of protein synthesis, ribosomes helps. Okay, and they will come and join only during or just before the protein synthesis. Otherwise they will be found as separate units. Is it clear? So today in this video we have studied about the mitochondria, okay, then the chloroplast or the plastids, and about the ribosomes. So each organelle in the cell is having different functions that we have already studied. They shows what? Division of labor. So the major function of mitochondria is what? They help in the production of ATP. Okay, they take part in the aerobic respiration. Okay, then the next organelle what we have studied is chloroplast. So they help in what? In the process of photosynthesis. They are having pigments. Okay, and this pigments trap the light energy during photosynthesis. And then there are different kinds of plastids like chloroplast, chromoplast and leucoplast, depends upon the type of pigments in them. Okay, and leucoplast are what? Colorless. Okay, colorless plastids, and they are of different types like amyloplast, eleoplast and aleuroplast. Okay, and the other plastids like chloroplast contains chlorophylls, and chromoplast contains what? The pigments like carotenes. okay, xanthophylls, etc. Is it clear? So this is about the various organelle, like what? Chloroplast, mitochondria and ribosomes. Hope you understood this topic well.